I do. If you're watching the replay, there'll be timestamps in the comments. Hello, whoever that is. Got one more minute before we get started. Let me go ahead and pull up astro.com, see if anything interesting is happening there for today. $20 seconds. Make sure y'all hit that like button as y'all come on in here. Say hello in the comments so I can see who all over there. Hi, Mr. Toucan. How are you? All right, let's get into it. What's up, gang? It's your girl Sid from Savvy Sentient, and welcome to today's channeling and chill. I may pull some cards or whatever, but I want to take a little different approach for today's live, considering all that's going on in the world today. All right, if you all are new here, hello and welcome. If you all are not new, welcome back. Please make sure y'all do the things, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and say hello in the comments below. If you all are looking for personal readings, you can book at savvysentient.com. It is the only place that you could book. You will never catch me in the comments soliciting readings. I don't do that. That's ghetto. All right, if y'all have spooky stories or spiritual occurrences that you would like to share with me and have featured here on Spooky Saturday, you can send it to me via email. You could do a voice note. You could type it out, however you want to send it to me, video, whatever. But however you could get it to my email, okay? That's how you're going to share your story with me. All of y'all who be sending super chats, super thanks, super likes, and cash apps, thank you so much. May that energy be reciprocated to you 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. May you be rained upon with blessings, and may my ancestors make it so. Okay, how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How many of y'all are in America? How y'all feeling today? I come before y'all today as I've been all day. Hair tousled, jammies, bare face and lip gloss. The lip gloss was just for y'all. Okay, so as y'all already know, the results of the 2024 presidential election are in. And if you are a person of color, if you are a woman, if you are an immigrant, someone who migrated to this country, the results may be pretty concerning for you. As I peruse social media today, I can't help but notice that somebody in this chat must think that this is a Love and Light channel and has already gotten me fucked up. Welcome to the block party, bitch. I hope you enjoy your stay. Yeah, none of those shenanigans will be tolerated in this live today, or any day, but especially not today. But as I peruse social media, I can't help but notice that a lot of women, especially women of color, very specifically Black women, are feeling betrayed, are feeling maybe hopeless, confused, concerned about the future of this country, and the people who reside in the country, specifically the women who reside in this country. It seems that we had some I don't think they were high hopes, but we had a specific expectation for the way that this would turn out, especially amongst women voters. And not surprisingly, a lot of people who maybe shouldn't have voted against Kamala. Now, if y'all have been here in my lives before, you know I've received downloads, I've received messages about Kamala. I've already let y'all know that I wasn't necessarily like a cheerleader for her. She's not someone who I channeled information on. However, information on her was given to me that she would, win this election. Now, I don't know if that was supposed to be like on another timeline, if that was supposed to be the 2028 election, I don't know, or if there's still some hope left here in this election. Also, what I've been seeing around social media, I don't necessarily want to say that it is fear-mongering, but I will say that I would understand how it could be interpreted as such. Other people in the spiritual community are basically telling their following to run and hide. Go to another place if you can. And that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I understand why that is not ideal for most people. So if you are not in a position to be able to, go to another country, then what are you supposed to do? There's been suggestions of getting with a group of people, and maybe all of y'all come up with something together and figure out how to get out of the country together, and sure, that could work. But what if you just can't do any of the things? What if there is something that has you stuck here in this country, whether that's resources, whether that's money, whether that's community, or whether that's just this innate pull that's telling you to stay put? because that is definitely something that I've been feeling, as much as my mind says, bitch, go to the UK. Because I do want to go live in London. But something inside of me is telling me to stay put, that I'm needed here. So then what are you supposed to do if the option of leaving is not one that you have? How do we handle that? So before I got into this reading, I did channel a message for my collective here. Just what Spirit wanted to say in reference to everything that's going on here. The channeled message is: rise and reach your tribe. Reach out to your higher calling. Everything is under control. Shake your fear. Trust in us. Everything is going to be rectified. There's work to do. With a smile. There's work to do. Work meaning spell work, I'm sure, because the way that the smile came across was like, there's work to do. Okay. But also there's work to do in the sense of your vibration. So a lot of what we see and what we've been seeing for centuries in this country, with the media and all of that, with religion, is fear mongering. It's fear mongering. And the reason why these entities, the news, the media, the churches, like to keep you in the energy of fear is because it is a low vibration. And people who exist in low vibrations are easier to have control over. So, in spite of what is going on in this ghetto-ass country at this time, my highest piece of advice to you all is going to be not to submit or succumb to the energy of fear, not to give up on your higher power, on your connection to the divine. Do not give up on your spiritual journey and your connection to the divine. And above all, try to keep your vibration as high as possible. Okay? Keep your spiritual journey first. Okay? So, regardless of what you believe, if you're a witchy girly like me, you know, What is this question? It sounds like some shenanigans. You're blocked. Anyways. I need you all to, if you all are going to engage, I need you to do so intellectually. Again, shenanigans and bullshit will be blocked. Okay. But yeah. I need y'all to tap in with your ancestors, with your spirit team, and all that. And I think it's best if you all stay grounded. Stay grounded in all of that. Because at the end of the day gonna end. And you know who's gonna be there when the day ends. It's your spirit team. It's your ancestors. It's your family, your bloodline, your magic will still be here. So this channel message spoke about things being rectified. I told you all in a few readings before now that on November 15th, Saturn, the planet of authority, boundaries, restriction, karma, okay, is going to be going direct, is coming out of retrograde. And so around that time, I do feel like we're going to see some things being rectified, okay? So I just want to just take some time now to just do a little channeling and give you all a few messages. I'm not going to do like a whole spread. I'm just going to use the cards to trigger whatever needs to come out. Get all the ghetto energy out of here. Okay. So Spirit already has said, basically keep your eyes on them. Keep your eyes on your higher self, on your spirit team. And see if there's any ancestors that would like to speak, give advice at this time. Is there any ancestors that would like to speak or give advice at this time? The ancestor that comes out is important. I've been feeling for a long time that the current situation, this time period that we're in, everything that is taking place right now is very pivotal. It is of the utmost importance. I've even had the thought, and this wasn't a download or anything intuitive, but I've even had the thought that the way that the election played out was exactly the way it was supposed to. And that is because it was supposed to trigger or spark something within a lot of people, whether that be the range of emotions that most of us have gone through today, some type of rage, some type of what I'm getting is it was meant to trigger an ancestral experience. A lot of our ancestors have gone through something very similar to this and have overcome it, have rose above it. And I feel for a long time, a lot of people have taken the experience of our ancestors for granted. One of the things that chaps my ass the most is the saying that we are not our ancestors. And the reason why it chaps my ass is because we are every bit of our ancestors. In fact, we can't exist if it weren't for them. They literally walked, crawled, were beaten, endured, just so that we could live the life that we live. We are our ancestors in the sense of their blood literally is running through our veins right now. We are our ancestors in the sense of our spiritual practices. They practice the same things that we're practicing now. A lot of us have gone back to certain practices that were not even practiced for several years because we were indoctrinated into Abrahamic religions. Okay? Hey, Abby. So we are our ancestors in the sense of we are literally reclaiming their magic and their traditions. So to hear someone say we are not our ancestors, It actually pisses me off because it's disrespectful and it's said in such a diminishing tone as if they wasn't the real MVPs. Like if it wasn't for them, there would be no us. Okay, so right now, what's going on, what we are experiencing, has a much deeper importance than what a lot of us realize. Okay. What else, Spirit? I've been feeling a lot of y'all's energy today. Right now, I'm feeling a fullness, or like this stuffy energy on the side of my head. I've been feeling lethargic all day. I've been feeling like crying, even though I didn't necessarily want to cry. So I do feel like I'm picking up on a lot of the emotions of the collective. There's a sense of, it's not necessarily nausea, but like a mild upset stomach. Explorer. We have the energy of the explorer. Why is this here, Spirit? I think this is tapping into some of y'all's like colonizer ancestors. And this is not necessarily just, white people, because we all have colonizer ancestors. I'm getting the energy of like working with them. Some of them want favor. Okay, some of the ancestors who may have been, colonizer ancestors, they want redemption and they want favor. I feel like in the time since they have been in the ancestral realm, in the time that they have gone unvenerated, unrespected, uplifted, they've had time to be around you and to see hey royalty, Chevalier, fever for what? You got a fever? But I feel like these colonizer ancestors, they want a chance to work with you. They don't like that they've been centuries in the shadows. They've been watching and seeing how the world has changed since the time that they were in it. And they see the effects of colonization, essentially. They see the effects of colonization. Somebody's here. I feel the pressure. But what I'm saying is they want to have a chance to rectify, the part that they played in creating the current situation. They're fully aware that their actions, even if their actions were in the 1700s, 1600s, 1800s, whenever their actions were, whenever and wherever they colonized, or whatever part they played in the colonization, they're fully aware that if it wasn't for, they're showing me like They're showing me a rock being dropped into water in the ripple effect. So they're understanding that they're the rock that caused the ripple, or that they assisted in the rock being thrown in the water. Like they are addressing that they know that they played a part. And so they want to work with you. And they want, I'm getting this energy of not necessarily feeling like they deserve, like if you venerate your ancestors and you have a full ancestral altar and all that, not necessarily the sense that they feel like they deserve to be up there with the ancestors that you work with regularly and, you know, appease and uplift regularly. But I'm getting an energy of where they feel like they're tired of just being in nowhere, in nothing, in doing nothing. Like where they are is literally a limbo. It's like they literally are just walking around in circles for eternity, and they don't want to just be a bystander anymore. They want to help. They want to make the future better than they had made the past. One of these ancestors, or maybe a few, what I'm feeling right now is like an energy of crying or holding back tears. Why are you holding back tears? Is this about a past action, or it feels like they want to prevent something and they feel very much at fault. Spirit throne came out. So I feel like somebody wants to come visit. The spirit throne is where the spirits sit when they want to converse. Who wants to sit on the spirit throne? Compass. Okay, so this is the energy of compass. We're gonna read her. But obviously being compass, it feels like whoever the spirit is wants to try to help bring some type of direction to what we're dealing with. Excuse me. I do feel like a lot of the collective right now feels like they lack direction in everything that's happening. You may feel like you're spinning. You may feel like you don't know what energy is next. They just directed my attention at one of my tapestries, and it actually looks like a compass, but it's actually the astrology chart. And I heard like follow your North Star. So again, going back to the channel message, rise and reach your tribe, reach out to your higher calling, was the first two lines of the channel message. Some of you all are not in alignment with your destiny. There's something that you are destined to do. Y'all need to, again, check out your North Node placements. Astro.com, your birth time, your city, all of that will tell you your full chart. And you need to check out your North Node placement. Some of you all are not in alignment with your destiny. And it's like once you understand your destiny, you're going to understand what part you're supposed to play in all of this. What direction you're supposed to be headed in. Okay, so let's take a look at the compass card. That's who wanted to sit in the spirit throne. This nice young lady on the compass card. Compass is a card of spiritual orientation and alignment. Your inner GPS. Didn't I just say that shit? Y'all are not in alignment with your North Node, okay? Some of y'all need to tap in with your higher self. Compass will lead you to where your... I swear I didn't read this before, y'all. That is just crazy how this is coming out. Damn. Compass is a card of spiritual orientation and alignment, your inner GPS. Compass will always lead you to your true north, a fixed point around which all of your sentient experience spins. It's a state of grace. This is where your heart and soul want to be, where you will feel fully alive, aware, and in harmony with your authentic nature and potential. Welcome home. If you're encountering the frustration of resistance energy in any area of your life, there's a chance that you could be out of alignment with your purpose and personal evolution. When strong winds sweep across your plans and slow you to a standstill or throw you for a loop, you feel lost and temporarily out of control. In this instance, Compass is alerting you to unfavorable conditions that are undermining your foundations and sense of direction. What aren't you seeing? Trust the universe is keeping you on course, and there's a good reason for the resistance, even though it might not reveal itself until much later. Use this time out to rest, reattune, revise, and restyle your intentions. Compass advises your true north is always a destination, location, and sometimes you need to access and process your current bearings before you move on. When you can act and make choices from a sacred space of alignment, pathways open. Finally, there's wind in your sails. Okay? So, what I wanted to tell you all was in this next 3 months, y'all need to really get in tune with your north node, your point of destiny. You need to get in touch with and get grounded in your spirituality, your higher calling, your ancestors, and all of that, because there's likely going to be a lot of chaos around you, a lot of confusion, a lot of misinformation, just a lot of bullshit. And I feel like this is a prime time for hermiting, for, you know, being in the house as much as you can. Go to work, do what you got to do, but come home and come home. Like, come home and come home to yourself. Come home to your ancestors. Come home to prayer, to meditation, to just groundedness, and make sure that you are preventing fearful thoughts from intruding into your being, because that is how you get controlled. Yeah, you got to be using your spidey senses out here. So, yeah. This is definitely a pivotal time. It's an important time. You do have ancestors who you don't commonly work with who feel indebted or responsible or like they need to step in to correct what what they've done years ago, the ripples that they've caused. And there's a need for you all to tap in with your north node. We have the teacher at the bottom of the deck. There's going to be some experiences that come to your mind, that come to your attention, that are going to help you through this next period. I heard experience is the best teacher, right? So there are going to be some instances that come back up in your mind from the past. Times where you have experienced oppression, times where you have experienced negativity, fear. And also what's going to come up is how you overcame. Spirit wants to remind you of your strength. I just heard you ain't no punk ass bitch. Okay. Yeah, we don't we don't blow up, we glow up. Facts. They want to remind you of your strength. Um, the grave is underneath that. Not just your own strength, but the strength of your ancestors and the lessons that they have endured, the things that they have endured will be a teacher to you. The stories that you heard about your grandma, or your great grandma, your great aunt, your uncle, that one time they boycotted, that one time they did that sit in, that one time they were an ally to those who were oppressed. For my non-black people who be watching, there's going to come a time when the experiences of your ancestors will be brought into the forefront of your mind, to your memory. Some of these things are going to be things you never heard about or no one ever talked about. It's going to come to you in a dream. You're going to dream about, you're going to see your ancestors, and they're going to teach you through your dream state how to deal with what's to come, how they overcame. I'm hearing breaking traditions. With that breaking traditions, I feel like that's for my non-melanated friends. Some of you all come from a line of oppressors, of racists, of people who did harm to people of color. And you know this. You know that this is your lineage. But this is not something that you've followed. This is not something that you've believed in. For some of you all, you were raised this way, but it never quite resonated with you. And as you became an adult, you strayed away from the path of racism and ignorance towards other people. And so the messages that you will receive will be messages about how you can truly be an ally, how you can escape the fear of receiving the same possible destiny if you stand with us, if you stand with people of color. You also had other ancestors though who were like you, who were not racist. We had an ancestor come up in a few readings ago. She was actually married to a slave master. Even though she was either white or she was light enough to pass. And she actually, freed all of her slaves, and she rebelled against her husband. That might be somebody's ancestor who's going to watch this, or that may be someone's ancestor who comes forward, because that just came to my mind. But you're going to be taught. You're going to be taught, and the best way for your ancestors to reach you is going to be by keeping your vibration high, because it's hard for them to reach you when they're elevated and you're in an energy of fear. It's hard for them to permeate your dream state, your dream realm, because the dream realm is a real place. It's a place where they can really reach you. But if you are in a low vibration, it's hard for them to come down there. Okay? So don't fear. Try to keep your vibration high. That is a very important message. It just keeps coming, and I keep on feeling that I have to keep telling y'all that. Let's stay out of this energy of fear. All this talk of Project 2025, if you've read anything about it, heard anything about it, It's super trash and it's super problematic and it's super disgusting, some of the things that are in it. However, it's not new. It's not new. It's been around since the Reagan administration, and they've been picking and choosing different parts of it to implement throughout, throughout the years. So while it is scary to think about, I feel like that's part of the plan to continue to beat us over the head with the possibility of this, to push us into the energy of fear. Okay, so while anything is fucking possible, yeah, it's possible that they implement everything in that damn book, but it's also possible that I don't know, it rains Skittles. Like, it's possible. Like, a lot of shit is possible. We are fucking possible. Our ancestors didn't even think that what we're doing today, who we are today, was possible, but we're fucking here and we're fucking doing it. So anything is possible. We have to stay out of that energy, and I feel like they're trying to push us into that energy by telling us, you're going to lose control of your body, you're going to lose your rights, you're going to lose this, you're going to lose that. I'm not even going to repeat some of the shit that I read that I just been like some of the stuff that I've read could absolutely cause a civil war. Like, but I'm not going to repeat it here because, again, I don't want to give fear a place to plant itself and bloom, take root and bloom. Okay. So I just need y'all to understand that individually and collectively, we are so motherfucking powerful. And they don't want us to know that. They don't want us to know the actual power, magic that we have, the things that we are capable of. But we are. Before I started my spiritual journey, I mean, I've always been spiritual, but before my awakenings, I had no idea the shit that I could do now. Like, to actually invoke the spirit of an ancestor and have a whole conversation with that ancestor, get insights and information. I would have never thought that shit was possible ever. I would have thought that was some shit that only happens in movies until it happened. And it keeps happening. And it's a regular, normal part of my life now. Spirits come and go. And I just really be kicking it with them. They never wanted us to know that that was possible. They never wanted us to know that we could communicate with angels. We could communicate with other dimensions. They don't even want us to believe that other dimensions exist. And there's several. And there are several energies, entities that exist on them, including versions of you. I've literally had conversations with higher timeline versions of myself. And just like in the movies, they won't tell me too much. They tell me what, they came there to tell me. They low-key didn't even want me to know that they were me. It's just something I felt and that I knew. But she never confirmed that shit. But I just knew who she was. But they don't even want us to know that that type of shit is possible. And the crazy thing is, not only is it possible, it's normal. It's regular. Like, this is normal. This is shit that we should all be able to do on a regular basis. It's a normal part of our life. Aliens, aliens are just higher dimensional beings living on higher dimensions. Talk to them too. Well, not talk, because they don't really speak English, but communicate with them too. You and your loved ones are safe is the first card that came out from the Moonology Oracle. So get out of that energy of fear, because that's your confirmation. You and your loved ones are safe. The knowing is the confirmation, yeah. But she just couldn't tell me who she was, because that would be a violation of, you know, her traveling. Yo, the movies. Do you know, like, you could literally go on YouTube right now. There's videos of the Men in Black. They're real. They're real people. All of this shit that we see in movies is inspired by the truth. Hi, Kiki. New moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on our side. But the only way that we maintain that luck is by maintaining the belief in our future and who we are and our connection to the divine. Like, they want us so bad to be in this energy of fear. Why do you think your boy always riling up people and trying to get them to do hateful things and making up lies about whole communities of people to stir confusion, to stir fear? How do you think people engage with the targets of his arguments? Do you think that people go out into the streets and engage happily with Haitians when they're under the assumption that the cats and the dogs and the pets are being eaten? Or do you think that they approach them with hostility? That right there creates anger and fear. Low vibrations. This is what they want. This is what they want. They want us to go outside of our homes and be in the lowest vibrations so they can control us. As long as we rise above that and stay connected to our higher selves and our higher calling and our higher purpose, don't let your past hold you back. South Node. South Node energy is where fear lives. Yo, think about it. I feel like I'm talking to a lot of ascended people. But let's not act like we're better than. Let's not act like we have always been in this high vibration. There was a time that we would believe every single conspiracy theory as the truth. Not saying that conspiracy theories are not the truth, but we believe them in an energy of fear. Oh, I can't listen to Jay-Z no more. He down with the Illuminati. Oh, they trying to control us through the music. When we could have just received that information. Yeah, that could be true. But what that got to do with me? He can't control me if I know. There was a time before we had our spiritual awakenings, before we had our ascensions, before we were put through all of these initiations, where we were low vibrational as well. But we were sent through our things. We were put through our trials, through our tribulations, and we ascended. But the past is where those energies live, that low vibration lives, your South Node, okay? So the message that I'm getting with that is, if there is anything residual that you know you need to let go of, whether it's fear, whether it's judgment, especially judgment for yourself, whether it's contempt that you have for someone or a situation, now is the time to leave that shit where it's at. It's time to focus forward. I said before in another reading, and I hope this makes sense, and I hope it don't sound too crazy, but we spiritual. Most of the shit that we hear or say or think may seem crazy to somebody. But there was, back in the day when I was a young buck, going to church, they had us watch a movie called Left Behind. And in this movie, there was a false prophet. Thank you. A false prophet that was voted into the presidency, and he was actually the Antichrist. This was a movie based on the book of Revelations. And in the book of Revelations, it states that the followers of the false prophet would bear the mark of the beast. So I was scrolling my timeline today, and someone I follow, Voodoo Bay, had posted this meme. And the meme said exactly that a false prophet would be voted into the presidency and his followers would bear the mark of the beast. And it had a picture of the Make America Great Again hats. They would bear the mark of the beast on their forehead. The false prophet, your boy, would be voted into the presidency. And not too long ago, I also spoke about in a reading that the rapture that the Bible speaks about is an energetic one, that it is already happening, and that it has been happening for some time. Go recharge, friend. It's been happening for some time, and what that looks like is those of us who have taken the time and gone on the journey to ascend, we are being raptured into the higher realms, to the higher dimensions, into a higher state of being. And that is where heaven resides. It's in the high vibration. Hell is here on earth. It's in the low vibrations. It's operating out of the root chakra, out of the energy of survival, the energy of lack, the energy of fear. And so I feel like that what we're experiencing now is just that. It's the book of Revelation. But it just doesn't look like how I think Christians think it's supposed to look. And the interesting thing about that is a lot of them haven't ascended. They're not in higher vibrations. They still live in an energy of fear, lack, and judgment. And so it's almost a bit of irony, don't you think? It's just something that's been on my mind. I don't know if it resonates for you, but I thought it was interesting. I'm going to go ahead and pull some African goddesses for you all. What messages do we have from the African goddesses? What do we need to hear from the African goddesses? Oshun, Oshun. It's funny that I mentioned Voodoo Bay because she is a daughter of Oshun. And Oshun's message is fearless love. What I'm getting from this card as it pertains to our situation is to move in this energy of fearless love. The actions that we will take moving forward will be from a place of fearless love. It will be an act of love for ourselves, an act of love for our families, for our lineages, for our freedom, for our people. For our right to have abundance is what I'm hearing. The right to bear abundance. The right to bear children. Oshun is a mother. The right to live beautifully, peacefully. Who else would like to speak to us? Manifestation, Mojaji. It's so funny that it rained today. I thought that was so interesting. I don't know where y'all are living or where y'all are watching from, but it's been a pretty gray day all day today. And it's been raining for a good half of the day. It's raining right now. But Mojaji is an African goddess of manifestation, and she does a rain dance to manifest her desires. Rain is also an energy of cleansing, purification as well. And she's the number 9. It's the energy of completion. You in Florida? God bless. Now, what is the last African goddess that would like to give us a message tonight? Betrayal, Anansi. She is from the Temple of Shadows. And this card is, of course, about betrayal. I can't help but think about the fact that she is a trickster deity, a trickster energy, and how before this election, so many people masqueraded as allies and said that they were going to vote for what was in the best interests of all women. And those same women voted against the best interest of all women. So a lot of us may be feeling betrayed, not betrayed, but betrayed right now. Because when those poll numbers rolled out, it was very clear who stood where. There was a lot of assumption that black men would vote against the interests of black women when they showed up 78%. Black women showed up like 94%. Latino men and women showed up 50%, which means that at least a little more than half or a little less than half voted against everything that Kamala stood for, which also meant voting against them because who they voted for wants to see a wall go up and wants to see them go back to their countries. The weirdest fucking flex I've ever seen. Had everyone actually voted in the way that they said they would, the results would have reflected that, correct? Now, that's not to say that there wasn't some scheming, scamming, and shenaniganizing happening down to the polls, because upon second glance at my voter registration card, I'm listed as a black man. A friend of mine who is biracial, black and white, is listed as a Native American, Indigenous American. And my friend is listed as a Republican, even though she is not and never has been. And also, she had to do a provisionary ballot, even though she's been voting at the same voting center since she could vote. Now, all of a sudden, she's not registered there, and she had to do a provisionary ballot. Now, how did we all register the way we were supposed to register? But we all got some shenanigans happening with our current voter registration cards. So I definitely feel like something is awry. that shenanigans are taking place. But yeah, betrayals are at play. So, Aunt Nancy, shadow of betrayal. She's from the Akan and the diaspora, element of the air. Anansi, or Kwaku Ananse, the Akan trickster god and sacred clown, snuck into the global folk tales. While Gullah Geechee children heard tales of Aunt Nancy, the trickster spider woman, my Guyanese parents entertained us with Nancy stories about a witty teen spider. The guidance says, who really betrayed you? Betrayals from others mirror betrayals to yourself. Betrayal is a web that disrupts everything you thought you knew. Use discernment in your relationships. Betrayal makes it difficult to trust. But without trust, your relationships are a lie. Trust that no matter what happens and no matter how long it takes, you will survive and thrive. The real question, how have you betrayed or abandoned yourself? The goddess declaration, I am willing to know the truth. So, some of the betrayal that we may be feeling may be due to a lack of discernment. A lot of us wanted to be optimistic and have high hopes, but discernment should have told us that things were going to go the way that they went. And the reason why I say that is because historically, they have voted against their I won't even say against their own best interest, because white supremacy is upheld and low key like built around them, white women who told us that they were going to vote for us, that they were going to not vote for us but vote for what was going to serve us all, and instead they voted what would serve them. Because at the end of the day, what do they really lose? Someone made a valid point today, and it's one that I've heard before, that they don't actually lose their, abortion rights, or, because as long as they have money, as long as they have status, they will always have access to those things. They may not talk about it because they never have, but they've always had access to this. When we were not supposed to be doing it, when it wasn't talked about, they have always had access to this. And so a vote against Kamala wasn't a vote against their own interests, because at the end of the day, they knew that they would be taken care of. White magic don't have access. We're not talking about white magic, but okay. But yeah, for them, for the people who voted against Kamala, the white women who voted against Kamala, they most likely are upper class women with access to money. Money equals access. Okay, so they didn't hurt themselves. They hurt other white women who don't have the same access as them. They hurt marginalized communities, but they're taken care of, so what does it matter? They're good. They're Gucci. And I think that where we fucked up is by ever thinking that we had allies in those kind of women. Okay? Now don't get it fucked up. I'm not saying all white women, because a lot of them are in the same boat with us. I'm talking about the ones with money and with access. That percentage that voted against, okay? But I don't really want to get too heavy into that. That's not really what I'm here for. I'm here about survival and getting through this, and not pointing fingers, But since the discernment card did come up, I think it's important to note that we need to move forward with that discernment. I think if this showed us anything, if these polls showed us anything, it's that we have to believe our eyes. We have to believe what we see. There's been, especially since 2020, a lot of people who have shown up as allies, who have done the marches, who have, even beyond 2020, whether y'all know it or not, with Martin Luther King and all of them, plenty of allies who actually use their bodies to shield black bodies. And some of them did that in 2020 during COVID, during the marches. And so I think our discernment will show us who is for us and who is not. Okay? Those people who have been showing up, who have been allies, who have been sacrificing their whiteness in favor of taking care of the whole. Okay? Yeah, I'm a white woman on disability. I know some women in my 12-step group voted. And that too, I've read so many comments today where, oh, it's so heartbreaking. Where people voted against Kamala and they were talking about how now their autistic son is going to lose like all access to healthcare. How, they're disabled and how they're going to lose some type of access. Like, there's so much, the selfishness that went into voting against. It just really, I understand the feeling of hopelessness that some of you all may feel, the extreme lack of humanity. But let's not act like a lack of humanity is not what this fucking country was built on. When has there been humanity in this country? This country was built on 3/5 of a person. People being classified as 3/5 of a person. So we cannot be surprised. And again, that's where this energy of discernment comes in. We can't be surprised. I heard somebody say today that America is what America has always been. Nothing's changed but the date, but the time. There's still a lack of humanity. There's still a disregard for life. The dollar is still the king, the almighty dollar. And that's what it's really all been about. People are voting in the interest of their pockets. And they're saying, fuck who gets trampled over because I voted this way. Don't nobody care about you being on disability. Don't nobody care about your sick mother needing her meds. Don't nobody care about, you having enough to feed your family. Who cares? Am I going to get this tax break for my billion-dollar company? That's what really matters. It's really sad and it's really sick. And while we're speaking of the context of America, I know this mentality is worldwide. It's so much bigger. It's just concentrated here on this stage of the greatest country in the world. But I know it's happening everywhere. And that's what it really comes down to, is the attitudes that we have towards one another. It's the blatant disregard for life, for one another. Seeing each other as less than or nothing. I don't know. I'm hearing "We Are the World" in my head, yo. Spirit be playing. I don't know if they poking fun like I'm being too sappy, but they literally started playing "We Are the World." And I don't know if that was like a literal message that they wanted to give to y'all, but literally that energy. I really feel like they was trying to shade me though. But literally that energy. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a better place. So let's start giving. Whatever. Spirit funny. But yeah. It's really much bigger. And I don't know when we're going to fucking get it together. Crystal says, we are here to learn what we are made of. The perspective is the tool you create with. To see the truth as a whole must be seen from the outside looking in. Literally. Literally. And I say that to people in like personal readings. It's usually in the context of a relationship. Like, view the relationship from outside looking in as someone not attached to the relationship. But this whole situation. But we're not the ones who need to do that. Who need to understand that. That's something we understand. It's these people who are rich, who are benefiting, who are looking for the tax breaks, who are stepping on the people in the tax brackets beneath them. They're the ones who need to see the perspective, but they don't care. They lack the humanity. It's them. The craziest thing is those people have manipulated these people in the low vibration and really have them believing that they too will benefit. They got these people in little podunk towns thinking, you know, Haitians eating dogs and cats, and we need to elect this man to get them out of here. Like, literally, none of us is supposed to be here. This is none of our land. Like, like, hello. Hi, Shonda. Like, if anybody's getting deported, it needs to be everybody, because none of us was fucking supposed to be here. So you are supporting this man thinking they're going to deport the Haitians, but you're not even supposed to be here. Like, it's just so nuts. Like, is this even real life? Is this even a real place? And when it, like, it's the craziest thing to hear people talk about how Trump is going to save them all this money or get them all this money. But you've been living your whole life in this town not having shit. Do you think that this is just going to materialize for you? You still not going to have shit. You still not going to have money. Like, you're not going to magically be rich because you elected this man. And it's just so crazy that we sat here on national TV January 6th, listen to this man hype these people up to run down on the White House, talking about, I'm going to meet y'all down there. He never showed up. He never showed up, and y'all still follow him. He literally betrayed y'all, left y'all hanging out to dry, while several of you all died. Several people didn't make it through that day. And when given the chance to do it all over again, they checked his name on a fucking ballot. So not only does he not give a fuck about us. You know, he also don't give a fuck about his own supporters, and y'all still fucking voted him in, even though he showed you that he don't give a fuck about you. Wild shit. That's some wild ass shit. Like, that's some wild ass shit. But anyway, we're gonna get into these other oracles. Mojaji. She is the goddess of manifestation of the Balobedu people, South Africa, temple of conjurers. And we're gonna talk a little bit about conjure in a minute too. Element of water. Goddess Mojaji is the hereditary rain queen of South America's Balobedu people, a matrilineal queendom. Mojaji's daughters dance to the frequency of the rain. Showers of blessings are yours. You are a rainmaker, master manifester, shapeshifter, alchemist, sorceress. Open your hands and your heart. Yes, make it rain. You are manifesting big. This has been a long time coming. You are co-creating with spirit. Match the energetic frequency, the ashe of your desire. You are magnetic, and like attracts like. Raise your vibrations to align with the sacred. Close your eyes and see your blessings. Feel them in your bones. Ask, believe, act, allow, and receive. Goddess declaration, divine blessings flow to me easily. Divine blessings flow to me easily. All right, so energy of manifestation. I do feel like we are manifesting something bigger. I feel like what we're going through with this whole situation is an initiation of the divine feminine. This is the turbulence before the ascension of the divine feminine. I low-key feel like she was supposed to lose, even if it's just initially, just to trigger us, just to trigger awakenings in divine feminine energy. Whether you are masculine or feminine, you have divine feminine energy. But for those of us who present as women or femmes and operate in that energy, this was supposed to trigger you especially. Okay? And I've been seeing this vision of, and this might be a little sci-fi, but hear me out, of this utopia for some years now. Like this new earth. And I feel like this new earth, or this utopian lifestyle world that is coming to existence, can only be birthed through feminine energy, through the wombs of manifestation of women. And so I kind of feel like this is the catalyst, this is the initiation period of all of that. But of course, time will tell. They've been trying to break my abilities, which only strengthens what they don't understand in divine time, proven again and again through life. Facts. Facts, facts, facts. But you gotta think about it like, it's like a bone. When you break a bone, they usually have to break it some more to reset it so that it can heal properly. So, temporary pain for long-term stability is what I'm feeling with that. All right, so I love so much that this last card was actually our first card. Oshun is from the Temple of Lovers. You all know in the tarot, the Lovers energy is about alignment. It is about divine partnerships. It is about coming together. It is about a meeting place where like minds come together with a similar purpose. Okay, so she is also the element of water. Goddess Oshun is the exalted Orisha of honey, sweet waters, love, sensuality, fertility, and beauty. But the Yoruba Lady of Gold's anger and jealousy can also flood and destroy. Oshun's guidance says, dare to love. Begin with loving yourself. Allow yourself to be loved. You feel everything deeply. You are porous with a wall around your heart. This is your paradox. You are love, and you are worth loving. Your divine assignment is to remain open to fearless love. You deserve to be loved in your language. You are worthy of a love that remembers your beauty at your ugliest moments. Don't allow your unhealed past to block your future. Real love is sacred, is a sacred contract that says, I am vulnerable and committed. Your heart is safe with me. Let's expand our consciousness together. Yes. Goddess declaration, I give love, I receive love, I am love. And I do feel, I'm not a mushy ass bitch or nothing like that, but I do feel like, and I have gotten a message from one of my spirits, that love is going to be one of our greatest teachers. And in this instance, I feel like love is the answer towards our more beautiful future. Okay. So in spite of the betrayal that we feel in this moment, in this time, that's not going to prevent us from manifesting the future that we want. We are going to operate out of a space of love. We are not going to allow the fear mongering, the hate mongering to obstruct our mind, our thinking, our goals to enter into the future whole as a collective, not separated, regardless of our skin color, our gender, our sexualities, whatever, because that's exactly what they want, divide and conquer. If I hate you because you're white and you hate me because I'm gay, and like, why would we ever come together? Why would we ever work together? Why would we ever find a meeting place where we understand that we are both divine beings and that we both have some type of power and that we can both invoke change, invoke spirits, deities that can help us create change? I just feel like they're playing us. I feel like they think we're dumb. They're hoping that we don't realize how powerful we are together. Again, I'm not no Bible thumping ass bitch, but I'm pretty sure that somewhere in the Bible it says where two or more are gathered, I am there. And that is the presence of God. The presence of love. Love is the highest vibration there is. And as long as we carry that, they cannot permeate, they cannot penetrate, they cannot separate, they cannot divide and conquer. I don't know if y'all have ever been to any spiritual gathering, church included, but that whole phrase, where two or more are gathered, I am there, is not theoretical. The more spiritual beings gather in one place, the more palpable the power in that space, which is why they must keep us divided, which is why they must keep us from understanding that there is actual strength, spiritual strength, in numbers. Hate is easy, love is hard, failing is easy, rising is hard. They demand, but it don't conform, and instead unite. What they fear will become. Yeah. Unity is the worst fear because there is strength in numbers. So I'm only going to use one more deck. I'm not going to do any song oracles today. I'm just not in a singing kind of mood. Okay, let's just get a last few messages from the Witching Hour Oracle. I'm not in a singing mood. Proceeds to hum. The first card out is the Feeding the Crows card. We are in a time of transformation. I knew that though. I felt that though. I've been feeling that though. Okay. I feel like what we're about to see, regardless, thank you, Crystal, regardless of how these election results turned out, I think that what we're about to see is a dismantling of a certain power structure. Whether they know it or not, people are tired. We have been in the most toxic, narcissistic relationship with the leadership of this country for centuries. And there were moments where we had some great presidents where we thought that things were all good. But of course, they couldn't please everyone. And of course, there had to have been some things that we didn't know about that we probably would not have approved of had we known about. But just consistently over the years, if we were to think of the leadership of this country as one person consistently leading this country, the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride, it's giving narcissism. It's giving emotional abuse. It's giving just psychological abuse. And people are exhausted. People are tired. And so when people get tired, they either go to sleep and stay asleep, or they push for change. They rebel. They want something different to happen. And I feel like we are on the precipice of seeing that. I feel like these election results have sparked some things in people. And I think that what we're experiencing is, I just heard the death of a nation. Wow, crazy. But a transformation. Look, I knew this card. I should have known this card was going to come out, because literally in the channel message, it was about keeping your vibration high. Keeping your vibration high. Cast the circle. Raising vibrations. I've been saying that this whole reading. You have to keep your vibration high, because when you don't, that's where they permeate. All that fear mongering, all that hate mongering, all of that pandering, the whole Project 2025, and basically having us feeling like we're going to be in the Handmaid's Tales, all of that is supposed to keep us scared. Easily controlled. Malleable is the word that I heard. Malleable. Bending to the will of the ones in power. I have a feeling of anxiety just right here in my stomach, and I don't feel like it's necessarily from y'all. I feel like I struck a nerve with them on an energetic level. They don't want me talking like this. They don't want y'all talking like this. They don't want y'all waking people up. They don't want y'all understanding the plan. The plan to keep y'all scared and malleable. What's the last card here? The last card. It's so crazy because this is literally what I channeled. I know the plan, period. This is literally what I channeled in the beginning. Y'all can go back and watch the beginning, but the last card says the spell is cast. The first card was about transformation. The channel message said that this was going to be rectified, but there's work to do. Cast the circle was the high vibrations card. I've been telling y'all to keep a high vibration this whole reading. And the last card says the spell is cast, let go. And then I was going to talk to you all about spell work because they said there's work to do, and they smiled as if to say spell work. And then the bottom of the deck says let loose. The flying ointment, let loose. All right, so like I said, the feeding of the crows card is the energy of death and a rebirth. Casting the circle. Some of you all need to cleanse your space, need to cleanse your body, cleanse your home. Put salt in 4 corners of your home, around the perimeter. Take salt baths. When you engage with the world, when you engage with the public, you all, obviously, because we live in the world, are going to engage with a lot of low vibrational energies who want to talk to you about the election, who want to parrot what they've heard and fearmonger to you. And during those interactions, you need to cut them off. You need to not allow them to make you feel or fall into their vacuum of fear and worry and anguish. And instead, counter with something positive. They ain't going to hear it because they're low vibrational, but that's okay. But when you come back in the house, take a salt bath. Purge the day from you. Purify your body. Don't allow that negativity to linger. Incense, camphor. I don't usually recommend sage, but if sage is your thing, go for it. If that's what you got. Eucalyptus. Not only does eucalyptus clear, but it also connects you to the higher realm. So if you come home, salt bath, eucalyptus, meditate, get your downloads from your higher power. Make it a routine, especially in the months between now and the inauguration. Just continue to maintain contact with your higher self and your ancestors and your spirits. And then cast the spell. Some of you all are witchy girlies like myself. And I do want y'all to fully understand that Donald Trump, that these people in these high places are fully aware of magic and fully are using it, fully have people on their staff who work for them specifically to do this kind of thing. So I'm not going to advise any attack of magic, but I will advise protection magic on yourself, on your family, on your home. I will advise manifestation, doing things to manifest money and good things, blessings into your life and into your community. I will advise getting together with others like yourself Because like I said, where two or more are gathered, God is there. And to manifest as a team, to manifest in a group. I was talking to someone today about big group gatherings specifically for that person, for that purpose. Because imagine if there were thousands, hundreds of thousands of us just everywhere coming together and doing magic together. We could definitely turn the tides. We could definitely cause a change, an impact. Some of us work with deities that are dark, the dark mothers, like Dark Mother Lilith. Do your petitions. Do your petitions to the dark mothers. Do your offerings to the dark mothers. Because they love us and they're working for us and they want nothing but the best for us. But they also don't want us to be no punk ass bitches, so don't be that. Okay? But also, write your petitions to the more lighter energies. Some of y'all work with Aphrodite. Some of y'all work with, Ezreal Freda. My lineage has worked with Ezreal Dantor. That's how we won the Haitian Revolution. Definitely. Another reader I was watching mentioned the Goetia, and it was so crazy. I felt like that was confirmation because I had recently got this Goetia tarot, but I hadn't been working with it because this Goetia tarot that I have is specifically like the lesser keys of Solomon, so demonic energies. But I just felt that I wasn't ready for it yet. But when she mentioned the Goetia, I felt like that was Spirit telling me, like, you're ready. You're ready to work with these energies. So if you all are into Goetia, if you work with the lesser keys of Solomon, if you work with the higher keys of Solomon, if you work with angels, if you work with demons, whatever you work with, now is the time. Because trust and believe, they working with everything that we working with. Gotta fight fire with fire. So, yeah. Don't be afraid to pull out every bit of magic that you got. But there's gonna be a time and a place for defensive magic. Right now, what we need to be focusing on is offense, protection, okay, defending ourselves, our family, our communities, manifesting good, manifesting blessings, manifesting power to those who may not have it, who may be weak, who may be fearful, manifesting high vibrations, speaking life into our community, speaking life into those who are fearful of judgment and of the people around them who may have swayed them to vote how they voted. Literally, a lot of people voted out of fear, and that's crazy because nobody can see your vote. You just be like, yeah, I voted for Trump, honey. Like, no one can see your vote. It's wild, but I do understand what fear and abusive relationships can make a person do. Okay? It can make them not think logically or rationally. So, for all they know, somehow somebody would have found out that they didn't vote the way they were supposed to. So, I also want to say give grace to those people. Give grace, give love. extend kindness, even though they didn't extend it to us by voting properly. But sometimes it's deeper and it's bigger than what we see on the surface, okay? Pray on Morning Star, so deemed by my Cherokee chief. At 1 year old, registered by my grandmother, Royal Shaman Blood. Period. You better be a shaman. And that too. Some of y'all, whether you know it or not, some of y'all spiritual ranking, and this is not something that I'm about to say to have y'all out here just capped up thinking that y'all are more than what you are. That's not what I'm trying to do. But like, I don't want y'all to like run off saying, I'm this, and you're not that. But some of you all do have a very high spiritual ranking, whether you know it or not. Some of you all have gone through an initiation that was not a formal initiation by like a group of people, but rather a group of spirits. And some of you all have a whole lot more power. Yeah, some of you all have a whole lot more power than you realize. Okay. I was initiated, I want to say like 2-3 years ago. How old am I now? That was like almost 5 years ago, I guess. They wanted me to be initiated by a certain time. And I was initiated like, 36. I was initiated when I was 36. I think they wanted me to be initiated when I was 35, but I had just missed it. But I was initiated by my spirits, and I was given a title, and I literally never used the title because it's not about ego. It's not about having a title. It's just about understanding who I am and what I'm capable of and my lineage. So some of y'all need to keep that same kind of energy. It's not about being able to run around saying that I'm not even gonna say the title because I'm not gonna give y'all no ideas. But it's not about running around saying that you have that title. It's about being aware of your power, what you're capable of, what bloodline you come from, and what ancestors you have access to that can help you through what we're about to go through. So some of y'all really need to tap in with your people, with your ancestors, and have a heart-to-heart to see who the fuck y'all are. Because some of y'all are way more powerful than you think. Some of y'all are way more powerful than you think. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do a postcard from Spirit, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap it on up because we tap dancing on 2 hours here. Thank y'all for hanging out with me, though. Thank y'all for listening. I know this is not a message for everybody. We got the weirdos out the chat, so that's cool. 144 on the timer. Come on, 144,000 chosen. Message for the chosen. And we got 717 up here in the chat too. So those may be angels, angel numbers you've been seeing, 717 and 144. If so, let this be your confirmation. Girl, why is this postcard from Spirit so ghetto? Why is the first line, dearest you, isn't it amazing how things seem to come around again full circle in ways you couldn't have possibly planned? Oh, you mean like this motherfucker running again and winning again? That's crazy how that came around again full circle, and we could have never planned that, because who really would have thought that we were foolish enough to vote him back in. But anyways, literally has pending criminal charges. But we were like, yeah, we want the convict. What? Come on. Anyway, you wonder how a dream could die only to be resurrected years later when you're really ready. You thought it was time back then, but your wisdom knows better than your small self whose desires are unmet. Now here you are with a new opportunity to do things from a different, more mature perspective. We want you to trust that in this new opportunity for rebirth, you will be called in two directions, and the one that is unfamiliar will be the right one. In the unknown spaces, the uncharted places, or infinite potential, we are waiting to guide you into your fullest life. Big bounty will come if you remain in the present. You have come full circle, and now you can see that everything changes, is made new, or given new hope. Loving you always. Okay? Made new and given new hope. I don't know. Do y'all remember when he first got elected the first time? Were we feeling hopeless? Were we feeling like the world was going to end then? I think we've all tried to forget. Trauma tends to make you do that. Anyways. I hope y'all are ready. I hope y'all stay in the energy of love and the highest vibrations. Don't let fear permeate your mind. Remember who the fuck you are. Divine Feminine, rise up. Connect with the feminine deities, dark and light. And don't be afraid for this next season of Earth, the ghetto, USA. Okay. Anyways, guys, thank y'all so much for watching. This is all I have for you all. I'm wishing you all love and light. Now, please go get right and go get some rest because I know this shit is exhausting. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.